And turning now to Storm Watch 12 meteorologist Josh Colberth. I'm so happy for you today because today is the day that things could just really change. I feel like, you're doing something new and different than you've done for the last 37 days.
I'm happy for me too. Yeah, it's been a pretty active morning thus far in the Weather Center. Now, so far we haven't seen any active weather yet, but trust me, it is coming. But as for right now, pretty calm conditions out there this morning as we're in the 30s and 40s. Clouds are increasing ahead of the storm system that will bring us some very active weather a little bit later in the day. And that's the reason we have this in place right here. Winter weather advisory goes for the Cascades and Siskiyous above 5,000 feet as we could have new snow accumulations anywhere between 3 to 6 inches within that area shaded in purple. That goes from noon today until 11 p.m. tonight. And then also there is the added threat of some very gusty winds on the east side as we have a wind advisory in place for eastern Klamath and then into Lake County as those winds could gust out of the southwest all the way up to 45 miles per hour. They'll back off tonight. So let's show you how all this shakes out throughout the course of the day. I think the bulk of the rain probably arrives along the coast by the time we get into the mid to late morning, and then it really starts to spread over to the east side by the time we get into the afternoon. And you'll see all that the purple and some of the white there on the map, that represents some snow. So there will be a winter weather element to all of this. Of course, like you saw with the winter weather advisory, I think this really starts to pick up in intensity by the time we get into the early evening, but then it tapers off rather quickly as we head into the late evening, then into the overnight hours. Tuesday will be another gorgeous day as we'll have plenty of blue conditions there, much drier and a little bit cooler as well. The biggest rainfall totals are going to be up in the Cascades and along the coast as well. We'll have some pretty modest accumulations within the west side valleys, and we'll struggle to even get a trace there on the east side. Now, those snow levels, they're going to start off around 6,000 feet, and they will plummet all the way to 2,000 feet overnight. So most of the big time accumulations are going to be in areas above 5,500 feet, but we could see that transition into snow in some of those elevations above 2,000 feet. The biggest accumulations are going to be up towards Crater Lake of the Woods. You kind of get the gist up in the Cascades. Even Siskiyou Summit could see a couple inches. So for today, we'll have all that rain and eventually snow working from the west to the east. Very breezy conditions in Siskiyou County, very breezy conditions along the coast, but very windy conditions out here on the east side. Then for tonight, some of this will linger, but I think most of it will probably be just a thing of the past by the time we get into midnight. Now, we could have some very slick conditions on the roadways Monday night going into Tuesday morning in some of those passes again, especially up in the Cascades, but I don't think it's much of an issue as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. And it looks like we're just going to have another beautiful and unfortunately very dry week of weather after this, but it does look like we could potentially have some more rain on the horizon, especially as we get into next weekend. So here's your 7-day forecast along the coast. We will, of course, have to deal with the very active weather today, but then clearing things out in a big way as we head into Tuesday, and the rest of the week should be very pleasant. Sunday is when we're going to get a return of maybe a more active pattern, which is, of course, excellent news. We need every little drop of water we can get, including down in Siskiyou County, where there is still a severe to exceptional drought in portions of Siskiyou County, especially in eastern Siskiyou County. The basin also needs to squeeze every little drop of this as they can because of course, there's an exceptional drought going on there. It looks like we're going to have a lot of dry weather, unfortunately, sandwiched in between Monday and Sunday, but Sunday is at least something to look forward to. And of course, today is something to look forward to, not only because it's Valentine's Day, but because we are getting our first rain and snow in 37 days. And of course, that streak being broken here in the Rogue Valley as well. The rest of the week should be very pleasant, warming back up into the 60s come time for the weekend.
And as far as today goes, looking at the past 37 days and then the week that we have ahead, how much of a dent do we expect today's precipitation to make?
In the grand scheme of things, not very much, but when you go 37 days without rain, you kind of become grateful for what you don't have. So let's be grateful for this. There's another little blip on the map for Sunday, so hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
You got a real shift in temperatures this week as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks, Josh.
Of course.